Hi there, First Year's Whānau. How are you feeling about being in lockdown today? I'm feeling quite good. The sun is out and the world seems pretty peaceful out there, so that's all right by me. Now, today I'm going to be reading a story called Patrick by a man called Quentin Blake, and you might recognise the particular type of illustrations that he does. He does drawings that are really specific to him. They always have quite a similar style, and he's illustrated lots of other books as well, but this was one that he has illustrated and written, so I think it's really nice, and it's called Patrick. This is a story about a young man called Patrick who set out from his house one day to buy a violin. In the town, the streets were filled with stalls. One sold vegetables, one sold fish, and another sold old clothes. These stalls were very interesting, but Patrick did not stop there until he came to one kept by Mr. Onions. On his stall, he had a broken jug, an old lamp, a mouse trap, and all sorts of things that people didn't want to have anymore. "Have you a violin to sell?" asked Patrick. "You're in luck," said Mr. Onions. "I have just one." Patrick bought the violin with his only silver piece. He was so pleased that he ran to the fields as fast as he could. When he got there, he blew the dust off the violin. Then he sat down by a pond and began to play a tune. As he played, the most extraordinary thing happened. One by one, the fish in the pond began to jump out and fly about in the air. And what is more, they were all different colours, and they were singing to the music. Just then, a girl and a boy came down the road. Their names were Kath and Mick. "Did you do that?" asked Mick, pointing to the fish in the air, and Patrick said yes. Then he played another tune, and the string tying Kath's hair turned into red ribbons, and the laces in Mick's boots turned into blue ribbons. And so the three went down the road together. Soon they came to an orchard full of apple trees. Patrick played his violin, and the leaves on the trees changed to all kinds of bright colours. Instead of apples, the trees began to grow pears and bananas and cakes and ice creams and slices of hot buttered toast. Kath and Mick ran about the trees, helping themselves to whatever they liked. As they were eating, a flock of pigeons flew down, and Patrick played his violin again. The birds began to sprout bright new feathers until they were the most beautiful birds you had ever seen. Kath and Mick fed them on crumbs of chocolate cake. After Patrick and the children had gone a little further, they met some cows. They were white with black spots. But when Patrick played his violin, the cows became covered with coloured stars and started to dance to the music. So they all went... Oh, no, missed a page. Oh no, that was the right page. So they all went along the road together until they met a tramp. The tramp had whiskers and a hat with a broken top where his hair poked through. He was smoking a pipe, and every time he gave a puff, sparks flew out of it. "That's a lovely tune you're playing," said the tramp. "There's nothing I like better than a tune on a violin." So Patrick played even harder, and the sparks from the pipe of the whiskery tramp got bigger and brighter until there were showers of fireworks. On they went along the road. It was just like a procession. Kath and Mick with their ribbons, The fish and the birds singing, the cows dancing, the whiskery tramp puffing fireworks from his pipe, and Patrick playing on his violin. Before long they met a tinker and his wife in a horse and cart. "Look at our procession," shouted Kath. "Isn't it fun?" "How can he enjoy it?" asked the tinker's wife. "He's very thin and I don't know what to do for him. He's got a cough and a cold and a stomach ache and a headache. We have to travel so slowly. I don't know how we shall get to town before dark." "Let me play my violin and see what happens," said Patrick. So he played a tune, and you can see what happened. The tinker started to get fatter. He lost his cough and his cold and his stomach ache and his headache until he was well and smiling and happy again. And not only that, look what happened to the horse and cart. The tinker and his wife climbed on, and so did Patrick and Kath and Mick and the whiskery tramp. The fish and the birds flew above them, and the cows galloped along behind. And they all got to town before dark. The end. What was your favourite part of that story? I think mine is the tree. When he makes the tree and does all sorts of different cool things that you can eat. I like to think about which thing that I'd eat first. If I came across a tree like that with all sorts of delights on it. Well, I hope you liked that story, and I hope you're remembering to be kind. Why don't you think right now of something kind you can do to someone in your family? Might be giving them a smile or a hug. Might be saying something nice. Might be remembering to say thank you and please. Those are all really nice, kind things you can do. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you later.